Oh, are you planning to visit Singapore and you don't know how to plan? Then this video is for you. In this video, I will be breaking down the cost for visa, flights, accommodation, SIM card, food, transportation, what card should be carried, how much currency you should be carrying, Singapore arrival card, basically A to Z for your plan. Now you have decided to travel to Singapore. So first thought that comes to your mind is booking the flight tickets, right? But sorry to say, your focus should be on getting the right hotel. Singapore is a pretty small country. That means the hotels also gets filled pretty faster. And the rooms are usually smaller but expensive. If you're trying to book the hotels near to your traveling dates, then it will be quite expensive, and also you might not even get the right hotels which you are looking for. So the first thing you have to do is understand your preference. So a couple of things that comes to top of my head is one thing is budget, of course. The second thing is, are you planning to take any public transportations like MRT or bus? So in that case, you can stay near the MRT station. Apart from that, do you want any Indian restaurants near your stay? So if that is the case, then Little India would be the better choice. So after getting your preference, then you can go to booking.com or agoda.com and try to see some 2-3 hotels and shortlist them. Once you do that, don't book. Now pick up your phone and try to contact the hotels directly. Again, you ask the price in the hotel directly, and usually hotels will be having little lesser price than what is shown on Agoda or Booking.com. So in my case, we had taken check-in hotel that is near to MRT station of Little India. And in the Booking.com, I remember the total amount was 57,000 rupees for 5 nights. And when I called up the hotel, they said it is for 46,000 rupees. Here only you can see such a big difference. After that, again, we tried to negotiate, and it came down to 41,370 rupees for 5 nights. So almost 15,000 we just saved by just calling the hotel. So this is one hack I can say. We always do this even in Dubai or in any Thailand or any places we had visited earlier. We always directly contact the hotel, not through booking.com or agoda.com. Now you have booked the accommodation. The next thing is flights, of course. So flights you can book from many authorized websites. You can keep checking the price when it drops, and there are a lot of different banks offering some discounts. So you can check those and book. We went by Air India. You can prefer Singapore Airlines if you're going for the first time. Singapore Airlines is having a top comfort level. But yeah, obviously it is expensive also. So this time we anyways went by Air India, and it costed us 33,164 rupees from Bangalore to Singapore for three of us. We two adults, me and my husband and my kid. And while coming, we came by Lankavi to Bangalore, so I cannot directly add that flight cost here. So what I will be doing is I'll be doubling the one-way ticket, that is 33,164 rupees into two. And whatever that comes here on the screen is the flight ticket, we can say. Now you have booked the accommodation and flights. The next important thing is SIM card. You would be thinking SIM card means you will be buying in Changi Airport. No, you don't have to wait so long. You can just book the SIM card right from your laptop, sitting in the comfort of your home. There is a network service provider called M1, and it is famous in Singapore as well as Malaysia. I will be leaving the link in the description box. You can go to their website and choose the plan you want. That would be 15 days or 1 month or 2 months, anything you want. And also they will be asking you where you will be arriving, on which date you will be arriving. So suppose if you are arriving at Terminal 1, they will also direct you where you should be collecting the SIM card in Terminal 1. For example, after your immigration, after you collect your baggage, once you come out, you can get the SIM card in their M1 kiosk. So there are a lot of service providers. There will be a lot of shops also. You can just understand which one is M1 just by seeing the directions given in the website. While booking itself, you will be getting this anyways. So you can go there and collect your SIM card. The SIM card costs only 8 Singapore dollars. If you directly buy in the Singapore airport, then it will be costing around 12 to 15 SGD. Also, don't forget to enable the international roaming in your current Indian SIM card. In case if things go wrong, at least you will have this current Indian SIM which will be working even in Singapore. We had Airtel, me and my husband both had enabled international roaming, and we had used, I think, couple of times also. So in that way it will be handy. So just enable it and see. The next important thing is visa. For an Indian passport holder to travel to Singapore, you need a valid visa, but you cannot directly apply it. You need a agent to do this job. For sure, there will be a lot of authorized agents in your city. You can check and apply through them. Basically, you need a applicant's photograph and a passport copy. You don't need original passport to produce there because it's just e-visa. And the next thing you need is the photocopies of the confirmed flights and accommodation. And then there will be an application form that you need to fill, and all these things you have to submit to your agent. We submitted to Ria Travels, that's where we went through, and within 24 hours we got the visa. It was hassle free, and we paid 8,200 rupees for this for 3 of us. Now the next question is, do you need a Forex card or not? No, you don't need a Forex card. You just need a Niyo Global Card. Niyo Global has paired up with 3 banks, I think, SBM, Equitas and DCB Bank. We have all the 3 debit cards. We had used it plenty of times earlier also in New Zealand, and then in Singapore earlier also we had used, and then Dubai trip, and again this time in Singapore and Malaysia. It has a really great service. I never faced any issues with Niyo Global till now, and it is pretty straightforward to apply, and even the KYC information also can be done through the video call, and within couple of days you'll get the card also. You definitely give it a try this time because you don't need anything else if you have Niyo Global. And it's not a sponsored video, by the way. How much currency you should be carrying? We had carried 250 Singapore dollars. Pretty much everywhere you can see that cards are accepted, so you don't need that much of cash. But just in case if the card is not working, then you will be having a backup plan. Some of the hotels, they ask for deposit. So where we stayed was check-in, in that they had asked for 100 SGD and later they paid it back while checking out. If your hotel demands a deposit, please pay by cash. Don't give card, because if you give card, then later while checking out, if they have to reimburse, then again it will take 13 to 15 working days, and if something happens, then you'll have to be behind them, keep on calling them, and or the bank, simply be a headache for you. So avoid doing that and pay by cash. How to get this currency? Basically, we got the currency from BookMyForex. It's very simple process. You just have to fill a form. Morning, if you fill, by evening, agent comes from their company and you have to show them the passport and they will give you the SGD. Now you have booked almost everything. Now there is one biggest task that is left, that is to book the attraction tickets. I have made a separate itinerary video. If you are interested, you can look into it and prepare your preferred itinerary. Then once you prepare your itinerary, then go to either Klook.com or Headout, or sometimes you can even book the tickets directly from the attraction websites. For example, Singapore Flyer or in Changi Airport, we directly booked from their website, not through Klook or Headout. Klook is mostly covers most of the places, and Headout also is good for some of the attractions. So just check and compare whichever is best you can book. And I've also shown on the screen what is the price for each attractions we paid for. And usually I have seen in Changi Airport websites, there are very good bundles which we were interested in, which was not offered by either Klook or Headout. In such cases, you can go through their website itself. That will be useful. And the attraction tickets costed us 89,933 rupees. Now you are almost set to travel to Singapore, but there is last one small process which you have to do just before 3 days of your travel date. You have to fill something called a Singapore arrival card. There will be a lot of details that will be asked. You can just fill it just 3 days before. The portal itself will open just 3 days before. Anytime you can fill. If you've forgotten to fill the form here in India, it is okay. You can travel there to Singapore after arrival, just before the immigration process also, you can fill the same form. Just it saves time if you can fill it when you are in India. In Singapore, the immigration process is automated. That means there won't be any officer to check your passport and visa physically as such. So you have to just go through a queue and you have to scan your passport on your own, and you have to give a thumb impression or index finger impression. I don't recollect, but yeah, one of them. And then that's it. The immigration is done. That is why Singapore arrival card is already issued just before immigration process. If you don't know how to do it when you enter the queue, then you can ask some officer, at least one or two officers will be lurking around, and you can ask the help from them and complete the process. Once the immigration process is over, you have to claim the baggage. So the baggage belt will be there for the regular sized baggages. But if there are irregular sized baggages, for example, wheelchair, or you would be having a stroller, these will be coming in different belts. There is already a separate area for that. Irregular sized baggages, you can just go there and check for your irregular sized bags. Once you collect your luggage, then you come out and get your SIM card. After that, you can think of the transportation, like whether you want to go through MRT or you want to go via cab. If you want to go through MRT, then better you get the EZLink card in the airport itself. For the MRT, I have made a separate video because it's a whole long story, how to collect and how to top up and how to get the child concession card, because the child who is below 7 years, they can travel for free in the public transportation in Singapore. I did the same for my kid. These all processes I have anyways explained in the other video. You can check it if you are interested, or else you can just go and buy your EZLink card and then you're all set. The next important thing is transportation, of course. In Singapore, transportation is pretty good, and most of the attractions can be covered with the MRT itself, but there are a few attractions to which you will have to take a cab. In cab, there are two types, taxi and Grab. If you are a couple, then I would say please go with Grab. But if you have a toddler, then it's a whole new story. This information is little hard to find on the internet, but this is true. You have to have a car seat for your toddler if you are traveling by a cab. In regular Grab, you cannot take your kid. If you have a car seat, then yes, you can go. But if you don't have a car seat, then you have to book a family Grab. Family Grab will come with a car seat, so you can strap your kid with that and you are ready to go. But family Grabs are insanely expensive. I think we took 3 or 4 times the family Grab, and it was a whole tour pocket. Can't help it. But there is a taxi. Taxi is a government approved cabs, and in taxi you don't need a car seat. Your toddler can sit next to you. You can just put a seat belt and you are okay to go. I don't know why there are two rules for a taxi and a Grab. No idea, but that is how it is. First thing we did was, first day itself we checked with one of the cab drivers from the airport, and he mentioned that if in a regular Grab a kid is seen without a car seat, they will be heavily fined. So usually no Grab drivers will be willing to take a kid without a car seat. Family Grab, yes, you can go. So overall, we spent around 18,000 rupees only on transportation. In that 1,300 rupees we spent on MRT, and remaining was on Grab. The next important thing is food. If you're non-vegetarian, then hawker centers are best. You can get cheap food over there. But if you're a vegetarian, it's little hard to find food in hawker center. So you'll have to go to a regular vegetarian restaurants or Indian restaurants where you can get some vegetarian food, and that will be quite expensive. We stayed in Little India for this reason. There are pretty good vegetarian restaurants around, and we found Komal Vilas as the best vegetarian restaurant there. Food is yummy-licious. I think the taste of that food I didn't even find in India in the authentic restaurants. It's that level. It was really good. I really recommend that restaurant. Apart from that, we had Anand Bhavan and in A to B and some couple of restaurants. If any influencers say that food is just $2 or for $3 per day, please don't believe. You will have to reserve more money for food itself. So we spent around 27,000 rupees for food for 5 days for 3 of us. Now it's time to calculate the final expenditure of a Singapore trip. I have noted that down. It is 2,52,292 rupees for 3 of us. In this, I felt that for transportation, we spent a little bit more. I think around at least 10K we would have reduced for sure if we knew about the family grab beforehand. Apart from that, we had a Singapore flyer ticket. In that, we had taken, I think, Sonic Experience, which was also pretty expensive, which you don't find it now. It was only there from December to March. We thought, okay, let's experience, but it was not that great as such. So I think we spent around 7K extra over there. So totally maybe 17 to 18K still you can reduce it from this cost. So maybe you can say 2.3 lakh for three of us. Last time when I went to Singapore, I went by a travel agency and I think I spent 1 lakh per head. This was like quite long time back, but still in that way, if I consider, we had planned pretty well. So that's it for today. And if you have found this information useful, then please give a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.